Hey there viewers, thanks for joining along again for the latest update on the health and safety management system. As I've said many times before, I'm not really sure how much more we can do to this, but I've done a few more tweaks. I'm waiting for any suggestions from you guys really to see if there's anything that you need to add that you think might be useful, especially for your organisation, and not sure how to put it in. We can do that for you as well on this version. But as it stands at the minute, we've got the familiar home screen. You will see that we've got colour coordination now on the click buttons, on the 3D buttons, and I've tried to coordinate them with each other, such as like the audit schedule, which is in blue, light blue there, and the audit actions which are associated with that in there, and the same with the risk assessment log and the risk assessment actions too. Okay, so we've got save days at 76. That updates every day. And this is, it's not that our site has only got 76 safe days, it's because I started this to backdate to the 1st of May this year, but you can change that to suit your data. So we'll start again with the dashboard then. The dashboard is here, very familiar, not a lot has changed on there with the exception of the task manager and traffic light system that I think we saw last time. And we've added the audit actions completed on there with a similar traffic light system, and that's because I've added an audit action sheet to go with the audits. It makes sense to do that, so I did that, but nothing else has changed on there. That's all the same. So we go then back to data entry. That's all the same as well. The only other feature, I think I did show you this feature, but I'll put it in now. If you like lost time accidents, if you hover over it, it will remind the person entering the data what a lost time accident is and when it's reportable. And there's a list on these as well that's reportable injuries, along with the link below and the date it was put in there. But for sake of, let's say, the person entering the information, as say we've had a lost time incident at say Derby JB, so they click on there and they click 1 and they let go, and straight away you get a dialog box pop up which says important, please check that the incident is not reportable under RIDDOR. And that's just a safety, a backup feature really, in case people are not aware, and that will work on any on them lost time accidents. It will pop up each time. So I showed you that, and I really like that feature, because if I'm sharing this file on our company drive with all our company information on it, because this is the beta of the demonstration version that you guys will get with blank information. But if we come to share it on the site, any number of people could be entering information on there, so that's why it was important to remind them, because they're not all health and safety people that will be entering information on there. So if we go back down again and we'll go to the reports page, again you got reports, you put your logo in there, just cut and paste it as a JPEG and it'll square off nicely in there. So this is the status for what we had, the COVID audits, which we're up to date with them. The health and safety tasks, which we'll look at in a minute, that tells you the status there. The cost assessments, the policies and procedures update. The audit task is also in there now, you'll see. And again, if you click save and send, that will send the report to whoever. And the other thing is I've added arrows down here, because one person I demonstrated it to at my organisation said, what is that highest score start referring to? They didn't actually think it was that one there, so I've just put the arrows in there just to make it a bit more clearer. And again, the lowest site with the lowest score will show up here as site low performance, notify management, and it's only 0 because the site is not active yet, so they're not active at the moment, so it will be 0 because it's not been audited. But all the incidents are the same. The lost times and the RIDDORs are in red and black to highlight that to any person viewing it, and the traffic light system mirrors exactly what's on the dashboard page as well. So if we go back to the home page and we click on audit schedule, this is the list of audits that we've got coming up. Some of the dates are actually accurate, But what you'll find on here is which might have changed. If I add information on there, which I haven't dragged the drop down box on yet, but say we do that, and I'll just delete them out so I can put in new sites as we see it. So if I go down to here and then enter a new site, and that list is not working for some reason. I'll have a quick look at that. Right, we've got there. I did find out what the problem was. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I just noticed a little error there, which you will do on a beta version. So it's good. I mean, I did actually fly through this quickly, but I missed that one, and it was a problem with the coding on the Visual Basic page entry. There was an error in there, which I just found. So it just took me a couple of minutes to find that. So right, so we enter a site. Then we're just going to demonstrate what this new feature on this does. We've got, let's say, site active. You don't have to have them, you can just delete the column if you don't want to use that. We'll set it as high so it highlights which one it is. It has been confirmed. It's not been started yet. I've just drag the code down on there, because what I've done is I've ended the formulas so that it doesn't cascade down the columns. So I just drag it down as stuff is entered. So it looks a bit tidier. So that's not started. You can see that the selection there, and we're going to put the date. We're going to make it an earlier date than what we've got here. So if we put it in, let's say we want it to appear somewhere there, so if we put it in, say, 3rd of June for the due date, we'll start that for the 1st of June anyway, and then the due date, as you can see, if we want it to appear, so we'll say, let's say it's 6th of August. So if I say 0608, change that, and straight away you'll see that it's jumped up. And the reason it does that, and you see I've got to pull the formulas down on them rows. And this is what you guys will have to do if you have more data that's actually on the demonstration. You just drag it down, and I'm pretty sure you'll know how to do that. But if you don't, just let me know, and I'll reactivate them all down, and you just have to ignore it on the screen. So it's not color coded, because it's not coded by a formula. It's just coded by added stuff in. So I'll just put that there, and then again there, just to make it look a bit tidier and neater. So we've got that one there. So let's say we do another one, and we're going to do that for, let's say, I don't know, Long Eaton. And again, let's just add these codes down. I'll just show you what I mean. It will say, it will come up with like overdue, because there's no information in there. So it doesn't see any information, so it assumes it's overdue. So we'll put it in now just so that it will actually activate when we enter this information. Just so you can see that it does actually work, and it's not an error in the system. I'll take that data out, so I don't need to drag that down, because that's live entry. Right, so it said Long Eaton, we said the site is active. There it goes, and we'll do high again so that it highlights. Has the audit been confirmed? We can say yes, it's been scheduled even. It's not been started yet. It's scheduled for the 6th. It's the start date I put for the date that you was asked. Somebody said, can you do an audit for such and such site? I make that date the start date, so I can say, well, you told me to do it, or it was requested to be done on a particular date, for a date in the future. So if we then just say, I'll tell you what, let's change that to 0102. So let's say that one came through in February, and it was due by the 3rd of April. So you enter that in, and straight away it's gone right up to the top, because it's the first one, and it's overdue. You can see it's overdue, and we just drag that date up, which we didn't do. And because it's an annual, it's a 6 monthly audit, it will show that it's due again on the 3rd of October 21, and it says there, last audit not completed. And the on schedule refers to the next one, which is there. So if we then change that to where are we, status, change that to completed. Let's been completed, so it's all greyed out now, and it doesn't appear in the figures as due. Okay, so that's that. And again, we can do that one as completed as well if we like. Um, so that will change as well. So it greys it all out. So what this actually does at a glance, you start at the top of the page, and you know that from the top is the nearest dates down. So you work down, and the furthest one away is always at the bottom. But of course, you can actually reverse the date order and the sort in the VBA coding, which will then twist it around the other ways if you want the most recent to be at the bottom. It's whichever you want. So we're going to go to the task manager, and again you see we've got these. This works in much the same way. I did show you that last time. So if we say review risk assessments, 1st of December 21, let's change that now to 0104, and it's due by 25th 04. And you see it's jumped straight up. So review risk assessments is what we did. It's gone right up to the top there, look. And the reason why it's white is because I didn't drag the formulas down. So that's just an idea of how that works, and it will tell you there how many days remaining before it's due. Okay, so you just drag down where the formula is. I just drag that down to the end of the bar, and then it will update and tell you when it's due. So the ones that are due at the bottom on this one, and it's 13th. I got it wrong way around, didn't I, on the last one. It is actually the most recent is at the bottom and the oldest at the top, as it probably should be, just to avoid any confusion. I'm confusing myself. Okay, so that's that. So the good policies and procedures, no change there. Risk assessment log, again, no change there. Actions log, no change there. Again, it's same system, and it updates the same as it does on the audit screen and the task manager screen as well. Project planner, that's the same. Full sites list that on there, it will come up with no reference because that has the full list of all our sites, but you'll just create that page and then update the link to it if you want to. If you don't, you just delete the button. The pure authorised list is on there. The tables where the information is gotten from is on there still. Home page, policies, procedures, risk assessments, user list, organ chart, we've seen that. Logo page, that's the first one where you put your logo there. The clock's at the bottom as well. Back to the home page. Audit actions log. Now this is the one that we've added. So you can see I've just added some fictitious information in there. The hazard type. This is if you've done an audit and you've identified some hazards. So you type in there what the action actually is, which site it refers to. So we'll say FOSS, who's responsible, case to rather, work in progress, or not started. It's highlighted all amber because it hasn't been started yet. Change the code into high. The date is due on the, let's say, 10th of April. And it's actual due date is on the 25th of April again, and straight away that's moved that to the oldest one to the top as it is on the previous ones, with the dates remaining to do it. So that's a bit of, I quite like that, to be fair. And then all I've done is added a meeting planner on as well. So it's basically health and safety related meeting planner, so anything that's health and safety related. And again, you pick down what your meeting is. Let's say a Datix meeting. Where's it going to be? It's going to be a Zoom meeting. Who's it going to be? Derby JB has organised it. Or say me and Ruth have organised it. It has been scheduled. Box up there. It's a high. Yeah, we'll make it high. The meeting date is on the, let's say, so go back in time a little bit, 15th of May. At what time? Let's say 1400. It's changed that. See, if you do the 24-hour clock, it's changed it to the PM. The duration is, and you can go for as long as you want, 3.5 hours. and that tells you when the end time will actually be. So that might help with your planning if you're planning in other meetings as well. It will tell you then when that meeting is due to finish. It just stops you working stuff out actually. And the date of entry is 15th of July. And if you want it reoccurring, if it's going to be a reoccurring one, it's in there. But if it's none, if it's just a one-off, you put it in there. Then the next due date is blanked out. So you could have had that meeting then, and we've now completed that meeting. So it's completed it, and it's hashed it out so that you can't, it's strike through line on it, so you can see that it's not available. It's been done. So the remaining ones are the 4 ones, and at the bottom that's where all the information is. This can be tidied up. It's just it's easy to see to get to it rather than going to a specific formula page. I'll just put them at the bottom, but you can hide them, and all you do to save you having to update them is if you want to extend these, you just drag down the columns, click on the numbers, and just put insert, and it will insert more cells. So you don't really need to. You can just delete that off because it's referring to a reference that's not valid now because you've inserted cells. So you just drag them down. Okay, so I think that's probably it. That's the audit actions, and again we looked at that. It's very much similar to the risk assessment. What type of hazard is it? It's a slip, strip and fall. Your action is blah blah blah. Which site is it for? It's for, let's go down for one that we haven't used before. Let's say Old Bay. Who's going to be doing it? Debbie K. Work in progress. Work in progress. And it's a medium one. Start date is, it's gone on because it doesn't know what the date is. So the start date will say we was asked on the 14th of April. We found the action on the 14th of April. That's when it was raised, and the due date is by the 15th of, let's say, 7th. And it's jumped it back up there, look, because it's overdue. And it's overdue by 1 day, as it is, because it's the 16th. So it's 1 day overdue and no days remaining. So if we then just put that down to completed, it all goes green, and it's no longer due. It's not late because it's been completed. Okay. So I don't think there's. The only reason we're finding errors on this one is because I'm doing 2 versions. I've got the one that I'm using for my own organisation, and as I say, that is pretty much spot on. But then I have to save that. When I've updated that, I save that as a YouTube version or a beta version, and then I have to take out all the information out for data protection. So I have to take out the company names and stuff like that. So that's why, if you see, there's a bit hit and miss there. But you'll just enter your data in. If you request and receive this latest version, there may come a time when you might need to change the coding or the formulas, and even though it will be unlocked, some of it has been hidden. For say, for instance, just to show you a quick one, if I go on the dashboard page, I've hidden for these 2 charts down here, I've hidden that information there just so that it's easily available, and then hidden it with the colour of the ink. So the information for the formulas is there, but it does get it from the relevant data input page, but I've just put it there, and that can be cut and pasted and put anywhere else. But for now I'll just put it in there and change the ink to the same colour as the background so it hides it. And you can put a chart over that, it will still read it the same, it won't make any difference whatsoever. This map site here works just the same as you saw before. It changes accordingly to wherever your site is, and you can have as many in there as you want. You only have to set it up the once, but it does take a while. But it might be a feature that you think, you know what, I don't need that, just delete it if that's the case. Alright then guys, so again, I hope you're finding these useful. I'm not sure how many more updates there's going to be, because it could start and get a bit silly and a bit messy, but that's based on what I thought when I come to looking for stuff. You know, that with the colour coordinator, it's easy to find it because we've got quite a lot of buttons on here now, as you can see, and you can go on for infinite. It can be infinitesimal on there if you want. It depends on the information that you want. But the key thing is you haven't got to keep going across all these tabs that we had on the earlier versions. It's all now done on a click. So you open the page, you look at the information you want to put in, you enter your information, then you click back to home page and it closes that tab. So again, and the only purpose that serves is to stop all these tabs being on here and you having to keep scrolling across. So I just try to make it a bit more simple and easier to get to for you. Alright then guys, as ever, have a good weekend. It seems to be a hot one this weekend. Enjoy your weekend, and like I say, thanks for looking. If you do like these, please subscribe. It does help me with the motivation, and that's all it helps me with. I don't get monetization for them, but it does help me if I see people subscribe to this. Then I think, okay, well, this is information that people are interested in, and I'll update it. If there's anything else that you need to know, not necessarily dashboard related, it could be health and safety related. If there's something you want a bit of information on, I'll put a video on that information for you to help you with that if I can, because that's what it's all about. So on that note then guys, have a good weekend and see you next time. Bye bye.